Getting older can sometimes suck, and getting older in the age of social media definitely sucks. If you're tired of people telling you to age gracefully, then you're in the right place. This is all about living your best life at any age. First rule, don't call me ma'am. Hey everyone, I'm Jodi Miller, and this is Don't Call Me Ma'am. Don't call me ma'am. And don't call my next guest ma'am, because she's younger than me. And I feel like I say that all the time because all of my guests are younger than me. I really have to book older guests. It's like getting really upsetting. No, she is amazing. She's one of my really good friends. Actor, writer, producer, a lot of shows, stand-up comic. She's amazing, and she's also a mom of two. I know she looks like a child if you're looking at her right now, but she's not.
Away.
She's not. Pedophiles, turn it off, because she's not. She's of age. Start clapping right now for Brittany Ross. Yay! This is a weird thing to say.
Start clapping. Do you think people are clapping in their car?
I normally say it. That's so funny that she said it. It's the one time I didn't say start clapping, and by that I mean pull over to the side of the road in case you're driving. But I didn't say it, so now there's probably accidents happening because I didn't say it.
Oh my gosh!
We were just
all these pedophiles.
Right now are they're actually
trying to turn it off.
They're like, oh, clap. She's over 18. We were saying that the last time you did do this podcast was over the pandemic, when everybody was like, I have to do something to like interact with other human beings. Yeah. And you had just given birth to your first child, your daughter, and you were outside. I'll never forget. Yeah. And now that I'm a mom, I remember like the look on your face. You were like, I'm free for like a minute.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what we talked about.
I didn't even remember it was a podcast until you just told me it was a podcast.
You're like, oh, you're recording
I thought we were
this?
just talking to each other.
Yeah, and we probably were. I lived alone at that time. So
my gosh.
I had so many people on my podcast, quote unquote, on Zoom because I didn't have a pod. I didn't have a pod of people.
Oh my gosh.
So I had a podcast. Do you remember that? Do you remember just like you and Marco and your baby?
When we just lived alone.
Oh, do you remember? Oh, you do? When was the last time you lived alone?
I can't imagine you living alone now.
It's
crazy.
Really? My God, my whole life. My God, just me and the cats. And I was that was a really hard time for the people out there. We will never forget it. I think for everyone it was a hard time. For the people that lived alone, and not in like an apartment complex. I had just moved out of an apartment complex.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Remember, I used to come there to coach.
Yeah.
Yes, and I lived there for 20 years. And a lot of my good friends lived in that building, but I bought a house and I moved into the valley, and I was alone.
And that was right before the pandemic.
Right, yes. Well, like 8 months before. But I was like really alone, and I would actually go to the supermarket with my mask, wait. Remember, they would only let a certain amount of people in. Mm-hmm. And then I would casually brush up up against a person. Because I needed to feel what someone felt
I thought you were going to say, I'd, make conversation with people.
Well, I definitely did that too.
Brush up against
But
people.
I would just sort of be like, oh, sorry. I just needed to make sure that I was, still, I could still feel people.
Things?
I could feel human touch.
I don't like human touch. It's, a big issue with me that, it's a problem with me.
But you went into the pandemic with your husband and a baby.
Yeah.
So you I don't even know. I had her. I became a mom during the pandemic, but it was sort of when everybody was getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
And people were getting out in the open. But what was that like? I'm sure I even talked about it.
I feel like it was actually amazing because I was starting to feel, well, one, I hate being at home. So, right. I had a really hard time being at home.
I love being at home.
I had a hard time. I think she was 6 weeks old when the lockdown happened. And they were already like, don't take your baby anywhere for 2 months because there's a really bad flu out there this year. Don't even take her on a patio or anything. And I was losing my mind. I felt like so much FOMO about everything. Oh my God. So when the lockdown happened, I was kind of like, oh, thank God, everybody has to stay home. It's not just me.
Yeah, I felt that too. I think
very happy about that. And then I think I had also sold a show right before the pandemic that we were leaving to shoot 10 episodes.
I remember you had this whole plan because you came to my house and we coached and you were excited and you were going to bring your new baby Yeah. You're going to be that
I had
working
this,
mom.
like, delirious plan. That I was like, listen, this baby's not going to stop me from doing anything. And
Like, I am an actor and I sold something and we're making it and I don't care.
And I was like, and I'm still going to do stand-up all the time. I think I did your show when she was 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I don't even know what I should talk about right now. I was like, I don't even know who I am anymore. And then I was trying, like, we had just done a big table read for the show, and, like, we were getting it all together, and I was having a really hard time working because I really liked my baby. In, like, a very surprising way. I was, like, shocked by it. I was like,
Did you really think that you weren't going to like your baby?
I was so apathetic about it. I thought I would be, like, have much, like, I thought all my boundaries about work would stay exactly the same. Right. Like, I don't know. Everybody would be like, are you excited to meet her? And I'd be like, who? I don't know who she is. Like, what are you talking about?
I feel like, though, honestly, I obviously have a different story, a different, the way it happened. But I remember when I was holding her that first time and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel, because everybody tells you, yes, they say the things that they expect you to feel or, experience. And you're like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, you were very honest about that. You were not your typical pregnant woman.
I know. I looked like I looked like somebody who'd be your typical pregnant woman, which was hard for me because everybody wanted to be like, woo!
And your name is Brittany, so everyone was like,
Brittany.
oh my God.
They're like, baby showers.
Yes, you look like somebody that would have like 3 or 4 baby showers. Gender reveal.
All this stuff. And I was very much like, no, if we have anything, it's a party. It's not a baby shower.
And I'm drinking.
And we're having a keg. I really wanted like a hose.
Someone will hold my legs up while I do a keg stand.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. But then the second she came out, I was obsessed with her.
Right.
And I was like blissed out of my mind. I loved everybody. I was like, I'll answer all of my mom's phone calls. I was like, people can cut me off in traffic. It's fine. I love everyone. And the only thing I like cried about was the fact that I didn't think I was going to be able to be funny anymore because I loved everybody so much, and how could I ever be funny? And I remember telling my husband, I was like, maybe I'm just a mom blogger now. I don't know.
But guess what? That like wore off.
Guess what? That wore off quick.
And you're like, I'm still funny. I'm still irritated at people.
And also, like, right after I had my baby, I am somebody who doesn't really want to be hugged or touched or anything, which is like a whole... My husband, like, comes from a very loving, hugging family. And he's always like, okay. And after I had her, I was like, you can hug me now. I think I like to be hugged. And he was like, what? And then that also wore off quick.
Then you're like, that's enough.
I was like, okay, 2 months of that, I'm done being hugged.
That's enough hugging.
Yeah. I don't know. Pregnancy hormone makes me, like, nice and want hugs.
But that's great, because a lot of people suffer from the postpartum.
I have, like, maybe I just have regular postpartum, normal life. Maybe that's what I'm running on.
Turns you back.
And it, like, flips me.
It flips you. My God. I mean, it is kind of interesting, though, because you look like somebody that would want to get, hugged all the time. And she's tiny. She's a tiny girl for you guys not watching it.
Everyone wants to pick me up all the time.
Did everybody always want to pick you up? I mean,
especially
not just
short guys. Short
Really?
guys, like, want to hug me and pick me up. And I'm like, this is making you look shorter. Just like, this is not making you look... I think they're like, I can finally do it.
Yeah. Can they? Can they do it?
Yeah, but it's weird. I've been on, like, multiple dates where, like, short guys will, like, hug me and pick me up. And then I've had one guy who, like, wanted to hug and pick up my other short friend.
Is this a thing?
Hi, I think so.
Oh, my God. I went on a date with someone that was almost your height. A man.
No.
And very small. I mean, very nice. But when I saw him, I was like, oh, wow.
Whoa.
Where's your chaperone? Are you allowed to be out right now? But when we hugged goodbye, my arms
picked him up?
I could almost pick him up, but my arms went all the way around his back, and I could touch myself again when I gave him the hug. That's how small he was. When you hug your child, and you're like, oh, I can like hold my
Whoa.
Yeah. It was weird. He was into it. I was like,
oh my gosh.
No, absolutely not.
See, I wouldn't have even been able to give that hug. So you're a better person than me.
I mean, okay, so you came from that. Was that your upbringing, though? I mean, were your Was your family just not affectionate? Or were they over affectionate?
No, not really. I think my mom's family doesn't really hug, I've realized. More through, like, my husband. It wasn't weird for me because it was, nobody really, my mom's family's not very affectionate. And
What
then
about you and your sisters?
my youngest sister, who's half Venezuelan, she's the only one who, like, likes to hug and, like hold hands and, like, lean on us and stuff. And I'm always like, oh, she's so sweet and loving. And I'm like, oh, she's probably more normal than I am.
But I mean, I think I would, you know what? I definitely was worried about it. Not worried about becoming a mom, but I also don't have that, like, need to hold other people's babies. I knew I wanted to be a mom, but when I'm not that woman, like, that walks into a party and is like, I have to hold the baby. And those people that just have to hold the baby all the time.
Yes,
people would be like, oh, do you want to hold my baby? And I'm like, no, never. Like, I wanted to hold my baby.
Yeah.
But I was nervous about that. I was like, I don't want to hold people's babies. Am I going to want to hold my baby? Am I going to want to love my baby and give my baby, like, so much affection? Because I don't think my family wasn't very physically affectionate either, if I look back on it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not, except when I'm drunk, and then I'm like, oh my God. But so I was nervous about that. Like, am I going to be affectionate? But I am. I actually Googled when my daughter was like, I don't know, a month old, can you mouth kiss your baby? And the answer is yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. My daughter wants to kiss on the mouth all the time. And I'm like, I don't do that, Penelope. I'm not European. Your dad is European. So if you guys want to do that creepy thing, like, fine.
That creepy, weird,
I'm always like,
affectionate
I'm
thing.
not European. Stop.
I don't kiss my daughter on the mouth now. I mean, every once in a while we do like a little peck. But when she was a baby,
Yeah, when they're a baby, it's different. But still, I don't know. I just feel like,
I do make out a mouth kiss my cat, like, a lot. Like, really too much, I think.
oh my gosh, that's so
But
funny.
he's the cutest little mouth.
It's just like hugging that little guy.
It is. It's like hugging that
But
little
with your
guy.
mouth.
But yeah, exactly. But I wanted to kiss this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this cat, my man cat. My cat's a man. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
So, all right. So you had your daughter, obviously. And then did you always know that you wanted to have, like, another kid? Because I look at people with more than one kid and I'm like, how do you do it? Like, I don't know how I would, like, divide the love.
Yeah, it is weird. I feel like I always thought I would have 2 kids. Like, I always knew I was going to have kids, and I always thought I wanted to have 2 kids.
Right.
And then, but I never was the person that was like, I'm ready to have my kids right now.
Right.
I had to, like, push myself to do it both times because I think deep down I really knew I wanted it.
Right.
But, like, I could, push it off as long as possible,
Right.
probably. And then I had Penelope, and then I definitely, like, was not ready to have another kid because the pandemic happened.
Right.
And I feel like right when the world started opening up, I was like, I want to work and I want to, like, have a life. I want to be myself again. I, like, missed the time of being myself again after having a baby.
Yes.
And I can't, like, get pregnant again right now.
Right.
Also,
Yeah.
pregnancy is, like, makes me feel so sick, and it's like, it's not, like, easy for me.
Right.
So I feel like I wasn't excited to jump back into
Right.
to that.
But the material, though, is so good.
I know. That's the only reason. I like doing stand-up when I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Oh my God. I really wanted to. I remember when I was trying to get pregnant, I already wrote so many jokes. I
Yeah.
was so excited to be on stage and be like, I'm single and pregnant, but don't worry, he bought me a lot of drinks before this happened. Like, I was, like, ready to, like, I was, like, planning it, but it never happened. I just wanted to do it just for the material. I mean, and that's why I
Maybe you should put on, like, a pregnancy belly and do all your pregnancy
do a bump,
material.
right? Just do a bump and just be like, and then they'll be like, why is that old woman having a baby? Is that just, like, menopausal weight? Or is that a real child? But it is, I think people don't realize, as we talk about it, like, you have to mourn. I think this is wrapped up in postpartum, but even if you're not suffering from postpartum, and I think, but it happens because your husband had, like, postpartum, right? And I think people don't realize that you're mourning the death of your old life. It's gone.
Yeah.
Like who you were before is just
Yeah.
gone. So when I do stand up, even if I'm exhausted because I'm working all week and then I have her and I push myself to get out, it's because it's the only time, even though I'm talking about her a lot on stage, that I feel like the old version of myself. Is that how
Yeah.
you feel?
I think so. It's like I have my own identity.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing I was most worried about, becoming a mom, or when people were like, "You're pregnant." Well, I was like, I'm still a person. I'm still me. I still, like, I didn't want a necklace with my, like, no shame on anybody who has one. I just do not want a necklace with my kid's name on it, because I'm like, I have my own name. And I felt very, like, much like, I don't
Yeah,
want to
it's
just
mom.
be,
It's just
I
mom.
have my own name and it's mom. Honestly, I like my daughter's name way more than mine. So if I wear the necklace, maybe
just call you
people will be like,
Penelope.
"Oh, hey, Penelope." I'll be
You
like,
should
"Hey."
start calling your daughter Brittany.
I think she'd revolt against.
Yeah, she doesn't like
She
your
doesn't
name.
like my name. No,
Why do you think she doesn't like your name?
because it's Brittany.
Tell her that it's pronounced
I don't know.
Brittany.
It's a Brittany.
Isn't that what your in-laws call you?
Yeah.
I mean, sounds very posh.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's so funny though. But yeah, I guess I didn't want to not be myself. So I was like, I'll go out even if I'm like so sick and pregnant and whatever.
You did.
Because for my mental health, it was
Yes.
better. And now I see pregnant stand-ups, and I was at a show and my husband was there, and there was a pregnant comic, and she was so funny. And I was like, this is like so hard for me. And he's like, you think you're the only one, right? And I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, you think you're the only pregnant stand-up, right? And I was like, mm-hmm.
Wait, were you pregnant when that happened?
No, it was after, because I'm struggling with the fact that like I'm not gonna, like, I know I don't want to have another kid.
Right.
But then when I see like pregnant stand-ups, I'm like, maybe I should just have one more kid, because like just like,
Or you could get the bump and you could just be a prop comic forever.
oh my god,
You're just the comic that never gives birth.
oh my gosh,
You're just
I'm
constantly, it's
pregnant
like
forever.
You're like in your 15th month of
Oh my
pregnancy.
gosh.
You're just in your 7th trimester.
Yeah. I mean, I think people forget how long you've been pregnant for, so people just forget.
But yeah, I forget that. Wait, is he 8 months? Your son now?
He's 10 months.
10 months. Yeah, It goes by so fast and also so slow at the same time.
Yeah.
It feels
I
like
know.
you were just pregnant,
I know.
but now he's like, almost
He's like almost a year. It's crazy.
It's like weird.
I know.
I think it's because he's also walking. It's all of it. Like your kids are just. I look at your kids and I'm like, these are like genius kids. They are. They're like. They're really smart children.
Well, yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's going to translate to like super book smart, but they're definitely
so.
like. At least my daughter's very like street smart. Like knows
She's street
how to
smart
like.
and
She's
also
very
like bilingual already.
I mean, her language is really, really smart and also really abusive towards me. And has been for a really long time. So I'm like, could you just keep those words in your mouth? People who are like freaking out about their kids not speaking yet or not walking yet.
Right.
I'm just like, they're all going to end up speaking and they're all going to end up walking, and like just live it up while you can.
I know, well,
because you don't know what's coming for you once they can actually say words.
Yep. It is. Ooh. I mean, I don't have it the way you have it, but I remember, like, that's why I have a joke about, Mackenzie didn't really walk until almost 18 months. And, your son is 10 months and he's already like cruising around the house, and walking. But I do know that younger siblings walk way faster than only kids or the firstborn. Because
Penelope walked when she was 8.5 months
Oh my God,
old.
it's crazy.
And then so did he. It's just weird, but they don't crawl.
Oh, there's a whole science behind the crawling before walking. So I was like, crawl. It's about hand-eye coordination.
Everybody like posts this thing, and
I know.
I keep being like, we've had a couple friends with babies post this thing about why they should crawl, and I'm like, Marco, do you think this is like a dig at us? Do you think they're posting this to be like, guys? Just like,
And then
like,
they just
that's
tag you
psychotic
at the
for me.
bottom.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a dig at us.
No, it's just to make us feel better. I didn't post anything about her crawling, but it's just them to make themselves feel better that they're not walking yet. Although I didn't want her to walk so fast, because then you have to chase after them, and I would have been because if they're walking younger, they're not thinking, like at 18 months, she was aware of things that could hurt her. So she's so cautious. I never had to put up gates around stairs. Because up until like 5 months ago, she would still, depending on the stairs, I mean, like almost sometimes sit in her butt because she was so scared. You know what I mean? I was like, great, be super cautious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like her half brother, oh my God, he walked way faster than she did, and he like flies around and jumps over steps, and I'm like, oh my God, that would have given me a heart attack. So having a boy though, is Benjamin like way more like, what's the energy like difference between the two of them?
It's so funny because Marco the other day was like, my husband, he's like, I can understand Benjamin so much more than I could Penelope. And I'm like, yeah, because he's so straightforward. Like, he's just like, he gets mad like he's a 2-year-old already. Who's really? Like having a little
I thought you were talking about
tantrum.
Marco for a second, your husband.
Yeah, Marco also gets mad like he's a 2-year-old having a tantrum. And he's like, no, that's you, Brittany. He, like, Benjamin just gets mad if he, like, is not allowed to carry the heaviest thing around the house.
Oh, wow.
He's obsessed with carrying this vacuum around the house. And if you don't let him carry it, he's, like, so mad. And, like, he's like, and, like, throws his arms down. And it's, like, very, like, where Penelope's, like, having a full-blown, like, emotional war with you in her bedroom. You know, it's very different.
That is so different. I mean, it is really interesting, you know, the girls usually talk earlier and a lot more.
Yeah.
Boys. Like a lot of the, you know, my daughter's friends that are boys, it's just totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're definitely more active, you know what I mean? And a little bit more like, like putting themselves in harm's way. They're just like, they're all over the place. And she's just more like,
yeah. I mean,
constantly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I do see the difference between the boys and the girls. So, because Penelope just wants to like sit and do art. Like, I feel like I think that when she was a baby, she wanted to be doing whatever we were doing. And Benjamin wants us to be doing whatever he's doing.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So it's like he's like, no, we're doing this. Come over here. And now he's like fine to walk away from us. So he's just like, bye. If you're not doing this, I'm doing it on my own. And
I mean, kids are just a wild ride. And the fact that, you know, we knew each other before and we were both so much happier. I'm just kidding. I'm looking at us now and we're like, oh God. I mean, it does suck the life out of you in a way. I mean, it adds life to you, but then you're also like, wow. It is really interesting, especially as women trying to like carve our own path in this industry and still be relevant and still do all of the things while also raising children is really just really hard. I mean, you have a husband that's really hands-on. Yeah. I have a cat that is not hands-on at
but
all.
likes to make out.
That likes to make out with me like all the time. But it is really interesting. And it's funny because we just got a new babysitter who happens to be a man.
Oh, yeah.
And she is obsessed with him. And it's so great. That energy is really, and he's like throwing her in the air and doing all the things that I could do but don't want to hurt myself. So I'm like, nope. And it's great. I think
awesome.
That energy for her is really good. But
that's really good.
It's really just crazy making the mistakes that I make every day. Being like, this is going to cost me in therapy for her.
But I don't think it will.
I hope not.
You have to make some mistakes too, because then they're going to just be weirdos.
What is like,
you know?
What do you think, like what the one, I mean, I have a couple of them, but what is like one of the biggest like mom fails that you've had?
I think I like really one I am a little too obsessed with, like, I don't like it when she picks out something to wear that I don't like. I like will die on that hill. And Marco's always like, really? This is the thing that you're gonna, and I'm like, it does something to me. Like, I've gotten so much better. Right. But I remember when she's always wanted to pick her own clothes.
Right.
And she could get herself dressed when she was like a year and a half old. She could put on like tights.
Oh my God.
I just was like, So she started setting out her clothes for school the night before because it was becoming this whole thing when she was like in preschool, like 2. And I would walk in her room and see them if Marco helped her pick it, and I'd be like, those shoes do not match that outfit, and it is hurting everything in my body to look at it. And I'd be like, something is like happening to me. I cannot handle the fact that that's what she wants to wear. And I just was like losing my mind. And then I remember I was like at the Brea Improv in the green room with like a bunch of like older, like all tatted up, like comic guys, and it was just like I was the only female there, and I don't know, they were talking about their kids or something, and I was like, yeah, my daughter's obsessed with wearing princess dresses, and I'm like always in a fight about this princess dress, and this like big older guy, he's like you just gotta let her wear the princess dress. And I was like, what? And he's like, you just gotta let her do it. And I was like, oh. And he's like, my kid wouldn't wear, he's like, and all of a sudden I was like, I just gotta let her wear the princess dress. I just gotta let her wear the princess dress. She's really girly, and I wanted to like fight that so hard, but I think I let it go for the most part. And she has like this she has her own vibe.
She totally has her own vibe.
She looks like she's in a Wes Anderson movie half of the time. Like, she wants to wear goggles to the flea market, and I'm like, cool, I guess do it. And then I think like,
hard to let them do that. For me too, I have the same thing. I always try to steer Mackenzie. I'm like, this dress, and I hold like the one that I want like right in front of her, and I make it like really like, I'll attach a candy bar to it if I have to. This dress comes with a candy bar,
like,
or this
dress
one
comes with a car.
Yeah, this one comes with a brand new car. But she always wants the other one, or she's like, I don't want to wear that. Today it was a victory. I got her to wear the dress that I wanted her to wear because I twirled it around and made it so appealing to her. But when she puts things on, she doesn't understand when I'm like, those shoes don't match, those socks don't match. She has no idea what I'm talking about. She's just staring at me, and then I'm like, okay, just do it, just go for it.
I know. I wish I could just like get to the just go for it quicker sometimes, because then I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I in this fight right now? Right. But now I feel like if I give in on the fight, then I'm just giving in on the fight, you know? I'm like, why did I get myself into this? I remember I was at my aunt's one time, my favorite aunt, and she lives in Colorado, and I took Penelope there for winter break, and we were leaving the house, and Penelope couldn't decide what shoes she wanted to wear, like these ones or these ones. And my aunt, who's like amazing with kids, was like, okay, great, let's just do one of each. And she popped one of each on her, and we walked out the door, and she's like, pick your battles. And I was like, yeah, like, why were we gonna spend like 45 minutes? She's just literally going to the store and coming home.
I know, but in our minds we're like, yeah, but it has to look perfect.
And I was like, I guess she can wear one of each. And then I'm like, one day she's not going to be a little kid, and she's not going to wear goggles.
She's not going to be able to, wear goggles to a flea market.
Oh, that was so cute.
Goggles to a flea market and 2 different shoes.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, is your kid okay?
Yeah, I'm trying. That's one of my things. I feel like I get too hung up on it sometimes. Right. And then I do have a hard time when she's giving me when it's just me and the baby and her.
Right.
She has a hard time, like, doing anything. She takes forever to do anything, or like, it's like this whole thing, because like the baby's there too, and I start to like lose it when she's doing all those like bullshit things.
Right.
And I feel like I make it worse.
I mean, honestly, I can't, see, that's the thing. I can't imagine having 2 for a myriad of reasons. But I look at my daughter, and if I had another child there, I think she would be so hurt just that I would be giving that child so much attention. Did you feel that with her? Was she?
Oh, yeah. She definitely is. Like, we can tell. And we talked to her about it a lot, and I was like, oh, if we talk about it before, it'll all be good. And I'm like, yeah, right. That doesn't actually do anything. It's just like, it's still, I mean, we talk about it because it was hard. I felt really, like, I also missed her hanging out with her
of course,
when the baby was born. But then I wanted to be with the baby, but I also wanted to be with her. So I feel like, you know, we've talked about that a lot. And then when I talked to the baby when he was like really little, I would talk to him about her if she was around, just because I was like, I want her to know that I'm not like the baby doesn't know what I'm saying.
No.
So I was like, oh, I'll just talk about her.
I mean, he might though. Her children are geniuses.
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like one day the baby is gonna be like, I'm so sick of hearing about Penelope. I guess that's my mom fail for the baby. I talk
guess-
about Penelope too much.
But you know what? That's really interesting. Are you the oldest in your family? Yeah. So I'm the youngest, and I feel like the firstborn has to deal with, and my brother did. It really affected my brother, so much so that we did not get along as children because he was so jealous of me because I got so much attention. As the youngest, I was the first girl of the family, and I think it really did a number on him. And back then, nobody was like, well, take him to therapy, or there's a behavioral specialist for your kid, because it was the 70s, and people were just like, I don't know, just have a drink. I don't, like, they were to my parents, they're like, whatever, you know what I mean? He'll get over it. I don't think, it just wasn't something that people did or were really aware of it. You know, they're like, that's just the way it is. Everybody has more than one kid. So, but the youngest doesn't experience that. We're getting all the attention. And even if we don't know any better, because if you're giving us the attention, you're giving the other sibling, like that person was here first. We don't even like, it's a very strange dynamic. And yeah, Benjamin's not going to be, your youngest isn't going to be affected by, you know what I mean? If you spend time with Penelope, he's going to be like.
He's way chiller about me like leaving or, you know, whatever.
And if you had another one, you'd probably also be, you know what I mean? Which is really interesting. I think that firstborn, the oldest, really sort of takes a lot of that emotional toll.
How much older was your brother?
3.5 years.
Okay, yeah. See, I feel like I have a sister who's a year younger, so I don't totally remember it.
Right. So that's probably better.
When my mom had my half-sister, I was 14.
Right, which is also better, yes.
It was like better, but not. I think I was 13 and 14, but both of my parents had another kid. And I think you like imagine like you're a teenager, you're totally on your own. But I think that's where I like really felt it, because I was like, oh, I like lost my mom. She got remarried and she had a baby, and like we're like on our own now. So I put a lot of that on my daughter, like those feelings of like, is that how she's feeling? I'm like, no, she's not. Like, we do spend time with her. Like, we make a point to be like, we're going to do something alone with her or whatever. But, you know.
Which one do you love more? I'm just kidding.
I love them both for different reasons.
Listen, I have 2 cats, and I love one more. The one that I mouth kiss. I'm just kidding. The other one has a weak chin. It's true. I just can't.
It's so funny. It's easier to be around them for different reasons.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I think about how much love I have for her, and I'm like, I don't know how I would even split that up.
I think when I had the second Benjamin, when I had my son, I feel like, so the way I felt when I had Penelope, I just was like blissed out of my mind. I was like, oh my God, this baby, like, I love her so much. And then when I had him, I was like, wait, we have another baby? I was like, I think I love him. I love him. He's awesome. But I was like still very, I think it took me it wasn't like the same feeling that I had, because I'd had that feeling before. It was a little different, where I was like, I need to make sure she's okay too, but I also really love this baby, but like, you know.
And also they look identical. I mean, she's a girl and a boy, but baby-wise, you could have just recycled a picture from when Penelope was born.
I know.
And nobody would be able to tell the difference.
I know, it's true. Nobody knows. I mean, even Penelope, who's very smart, I think, 5.5, and everybody keeps saying like, you guys are like twin babies. You're like twin babies. And then she was like, wait, Mom, are me and Benjamin twins? And I was like, no, you're not. What? No, you're not twins. What?
So she's not that smart,
so,
guys.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, maybe not book smart.
Yeah. Well, here's a great example of like, and I'm sure everybody, you know, kids are, every kid is different. And I love everything about my daughter, but it's very funny. We were at a friend's house, and Heather Pasternak, who's also had a baby, another amazing comedian, and her firstborn is my daughter's age, and I wanted to go see the baby. So they had eggs. We're like, go hide the eggs, and we will find them. And they were like, yes, what a great, we just wanted them out of the room. So we could talk, right. So we thought that would be an activity to keep them busy. It was like 5 seconds. When you tell a child to go hide something, it's like a second, and they're back. They're like, it's in, and it's like on the floor. But anyway, they go hide it, and they come back, and they're like, go find it. And we were still talking, so we're like, well, why don't you guys go find the eggs? Now, Heather's son, who's very smart, gets upset. And he's like, no, we hid them. We can't go find them. My daughter was already gone, came back, and was like, I found all the eggs.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, and there you go. I'm like, ignorance is bliss. She was
so
I mean,
cute,
she was
though.
so excited that she just found
the
all
one
the
who
eggs.
found them
She
all.
just hid. She was like, what a great idea. And he was like, you can't do that. So dumb. We just hid them. But my daughter was like, nope, I got
love
this one.
it. It's so sweet. Yeah.
It is sweet. I mean, if she's 13 and still acting like that, that'll be concerned.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you do for yourself now that you have two to just be Brittany? I mean, seriously. I mean, I know you're performing so much, and I'm in awe of that, by the way.
Well, I perform, I feel like. And then I always, I mean, for like my whole adult life, I go on a run in the morning.
Yeah, you say that. And I'm always like, what?
I run every morning, like rain or shine, no matter where I am.
Oh, my God.
Like cold, snow, sketchy area. Sketchy area or
Oh,
not.
my God, you are so kidnappable. I don't even know what you're doing.
I definitely run with Mace. What else? That's about it.
That's it.
That's about
runs
it.
and does
I go on a
stand-up.
run
That's it.
and I do stand up. I do try and see my friends, which is hard.
It is hard.
It's hard to see my friends. I feel like I'm seeing people when I do stand up, so it's some aspect of like being social. But my like friends that I've had forever.
Right. Do they all have kids, or do you have friends that still don't have kids?
I have some friends who don't want to have kids. I have like
Right.
3 of my very good friends probably aren't gonna have kids,
Right.
and then I have other friends who have kids. But it starts to become a thing where it's like, what age are your kids?
Yeah, it really
Your kids
is.
get along. Like,
I'm
your
finding
kids
that
have-
my circle, my social circle, is really forming around people that have kids that are my daughter's age and or go to her school. I mean, I thought I would never be that person. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
It's
I was
really
gonna keep all my
hard
friends. It's
because-
hard, yeah.
You're like, what if I don't like these people that
I know.
my kid likes? So
Then I mean, unless they're like total assholes, I'll like, I can get along with anyone.
yeah, totally. I know, but it's just like I feel like I'm missing my own friends
Right, of
sometimes
course.
because I have to see her friends.
Yeah, of course.
And then I'm like, oh, I like really would like my friends.
Especially the
Not
ones that
they're
have
not
known you
nice.
for so long. I
Yeah.
think that's like, as we get older, I've been thinking more about like my friends from childhood, just the
Yeah.
people that have known me like a really long time. And it's so like, I'm very nostalgic for that time. I think I'm just more missing that time when somebody was taking care of me.
Yeah, I know.
Because now that you're taking care of people, like I wish somebody would, just take care
Yeah.
of me. I want like all the responsibility gone. I want to just be able to like play all day and not
Yeah.
have to think about like adult things. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like I look at my daughter and I'm like, what a life.
I know.
I just didn't appreciate it.
I mean, when I took Penelope to New York, I took her to New York like
Right.
last week, and I felt like I kind of got to do that. I feel like it's gonna come back around once Mackenzie gets a little older.
Yeah, but I'm also going to be really old. I'm going to be like in a wheelchair.
Not in 2 years, Jodi. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I feel like Penelope's so, like, especially when the baby's not around and
Right.
it's just like one parent where she's like really easy to hang out with, and she's just kind of like a funny, tiny little friend that you go, and we did all the things. I was like, this is fun for me. Like, we saw a show. We like got to like,
So I hope she's there because right now it's just YouTube videos and I want to blow my brains out. I'm like, I can't even get her to watch like a movie. We can't have a movie night yet. I'm like waiting for that. But I mean, like, there's going to be a time that they don't want to be with us.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's important. I have a lot of friends that, are all about their kids. A lot of my friends that kids are grown now and then they're out of the house and they don't have a job or they're like, what do I do with my life now? You know what I mean? Because for, 16 years, it was all about that child. Once they hit like 16, they're like out of the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to like wake up one day and just me and my old cat
Yeah.
mouth kissing him. The other one's still there too. But like, I mean, I want to make sure that that my life is still like full outside of my child.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the hardest thing to do? It feels like it's almost impossible as she gets older.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I think it will get easier. I think you're just in a weird spot.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I feel like we were starting to have that, and then we had a baby. And we were, like, starting to be like, oh, we can, like, hang out. And we can,
Right.
you know, she definitely, like, can go to somebody's house and play alone without us. It's like, I think you're, like, right at that spot. Like, we go to people's houses and we don't see Penelope for, like, hours.
Yeah, we're not
And
there
she's,
yet.
like, playing and doing
I mean,
stuff.
they are. They play. Yes, we're almost there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she's not there yet. But let's talk about that. The play date that we had with Penelope and Mackenzie. Penelope wanted. So we had a play date, and your daughter was so kind and wanted to give Mackenzie a princess dress. Now my daughter is a year younger, so she was 3 and Penelope was 4 at the time. Mm-hmm. And we're all in the room, and Mackenzie was very much in the, like, grabbing things and pulling it. So there was a dress, and Penelope walked over and was going to give it to me. Do you remember? She wanted me to take it home.
Oh, yeah.
And Mackenzie was like, mine. And Penelope was very calm and was like, I'm giving it to your mom. And they were fighting, and Mackenzie's pulling it. And they're about the same size. So they're face to face. And we're trying to do what all parents do, which is like trying to parent our child in the right way, but nobody knows what that is. It's like, no. You get we're trying to like help them along. And then my daughter screams so loud in your daughter's face. It was like a banshee. I've never heard anything like it. When little girls
It's so
scream,
funny because I don't really remember this at all.
don't?
Of course, you remember it because it was your child, and you probably think I really remember it. I don't remember it. I just remember they had a thing.
They had a thing. My daughter screams. Like, if you've never heard a little girl scream when they lose control or they want something, it is... Dogs almost came running. I'm sure they were surrounding your house by this point. Your dog probably was rolling over. But she just was in your daughter's face screaming. Like just nothing. And then Penelope started crying. So then you guys took Penelope. And then my daughter, the psychopath, stops and looks at your daughter. And thankfully she's actually very empathetic. So she just looks at me and she's like, why is she crying?
Oh, yeah.
I go, babe. She goes, she's crying. I go, yeah, because you screamed in her face. And she's like, oh. And then she went over and grabbed one of Penelope's dolls.
Oh, yeah.
To give to Penelope to calm her down. And she's like, here you go. And like as if she was the abusive boyfriend or girlfriend who just made their girlfriend cry, but then came back and brought flowers.
It was so funny. Also, Jodi, I really think you need to start a YouTube channel where you comment. You're the commentator on Playdates, because Jodi remembers the whole thing. I just remember dying laughing because Jodi was commentating the whole play date. She's like, oh, there's the abusive boyfriend coming in with the dolls to save the day. Oh, there's it was so funny from the side.
I mean,
I don't remember like the play-by-play.
I was so mortified when your child does something on a play date that is like so. You're just like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's just like judging everybody. Of course, nobody is, because I'm not. My daughter's been smacked across the face by another kid.
I feel like at a play date, it's really, the only thing I judge is if the other parent like doesn't do anything about it.
Right.
At least you got to try.
You got to
Or
try.
at least be like, hey, I see that.
I see. So as long as I was commenting on it, then we're totally
Yeah,
fine.
that's all I want. Commentating. I mean, Penelope, one time we were at gymnastics. Did I tell you? I think so. The worst is when you have to like parent your kid in front of other people that you don't know. Ugh. It is like, kill me. I want to die. I feel horrible. She was at gymnastics. It was right after we had the baby. I was trying to do something alone with her. Mm-hmm. So I was so proud of myself that I was also breastfeeding, so I had like limited time. I was like, I'm going to take her to gymnastics alone, the two of us. This will be so fun, and then I'll come back. So I take her to gymnastics. She's acting psycho, and she's like pouting and getting all this, keeps coming out of her class. And I was like, okay, listen, you're causing a distraction in your class, and like if you can't stay in your class, then we're gonna go home. And she's like, and I was like, and you can't pout in your class because other kids are here to take class, and you're taking away from the teacher, like, helping them, you know? And she's like, oh, fine, I'm going to go back to my class. And so she walks off. And this is a gym that's like a big gymnastics place. There's probably 100 parents in the bleachers, like long bleachers. She's like halfway down the bleachers, walking back toward the gate. I'm sitting on this bleacher. And she just turns around and she goes, don't talk to me like that. And I just like looked around to be like, does everybody know? I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have to parent my child now in front of all of these people in the bleachers. I can't just be like, okay, yeah, go back to class.
Go team.
I can't,
Go team.
I can't ignore it. Like, everybody's looking around like, what is she like, it was literally out of nowhere she said this. So then I had to be like, okay, I guess we're leaving. But the bleachers are facing the whole thing. And then she runs back in her class. And she starts running around the gymnastics place, like in front of people, being like, I'm not leaving.
Oh my God.
Like, oh my God. And I had to like grab her, and she's big. Like, she's 5, so it's not like.
Well, you guys are the same size.
Yeah, we're the same
You're the size of a 5-year-old.
We're both wearing the same leotard.
They think they're sisters. Look at these twins.
I had to like pick her up, and she's like losing it, and like I know all these parents are behind me. I could not turn around, and I had to like carry her out. She's like, please let me try again. No, like,
oh my God,
losing her mind. I was like, well, this is our fun day out without the baby, and I had to like shove her in the car. And as I'm like trying to get her in the car, this other car stops behind my car, and I was like, does this woman think I'm like kidnapping my child or something? Like, why is she stopping? Is she stopping to help me?
Right.
Or what? And I like, she's like saying something to me, and I kept being like, what? And then she finally goes, are you leaving? And I was like, yeah, but it's gonna be a minute. And I was like, are you kidding me? Do you see what I am doing right now? Like, give me a second.
If anybody sees a parent with a child and the child looks out of control, just say a prayer and just let them be, because it is a nightmare. I mean, I remember the first time I took her to a birthday party that she like really enjoyed with the bouncy house at the park, at Hazeltine Park. It was the first time she was around her class that she's with now, all of the kids. She had the best time, and it was time to leave. It was the end of the party.
Yeah.
And you can tell right away if it's going to be a bad exit when you're like, babe, it's time to go. And they go, nope. She said, nope. And then I could see her running around, going back into the bouncy house, coming down the slide, going back. And I can't get her. And I'm not going to crawl in the bouncy house to get her. But guess who had to crawl in the bouncy house to get her? Because she would not come. And then you do everything. You're like, okay, then 2 minutes, because everybody's watching you. It's just 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. And then like she's saying, no, honey, okay, it's time to go. And then now the bribing starts. Like, we've got sugar in the car. You have your lollipop in the car. We'll stop and get a lollipop.
Yeah.
She wasn't listening. There was nothing happening. Other kids are just like leaving with their parents willingly. She's like, I live here now in this bouncy house. And I'm like, oh my God. And all the parents are still looking at me and looking at her. And they're like, how are you going to handle this situation? You know what I mean? So I had to crawl in there, drag her by a leg. Now the screaming starts. I think she peed her pants because she was wet from somewhere. I don't know where that came from. And I'm pulling her and try to carry a child that doesn't want to be carried. She's flailing, dropping body weight. I'm trying to say goodbye to everyone. I have a blanket because it was a picnic style birthday party. And of course they're like, don't forget a gift bag.
Whatever parent said
I know,
that
I was
is
like,
like,
I know. I was like, hey, my daughter's like, her head's like hanging low. I've got my arms between her legs. She's kicking, she's screaming. Now she's pulling my hair. I want to drop her. That's what every part of my body, every fiber in my being is like, drop this child. Drop this child on the ground. Like, just let her go. As she's pulling my hair, I'm like, let it go, let it go, let go, let go, let go. Because that hurts. Anybody's hair is not, I mean, it really hurts when they pull your hair.
Yeah.
I grabbed the bag around like my pinky finger, the gift bag, and I'm like, we had such a good time. And I'm like, sweating.
You also have to say like, thanks so much.
Thanks so much. I see you Monday morning at drop off. I am like freaking out. She is like, and then I get really close to her body. And I'm like, no TV ever. And then she starts crying even more. But you're trying to do anything to like make them stop. And then they get in the car. She is like losing it still. I finally buckle her in. I'm like shaking. I get into the front seat and I'm not even kidding you, just as calm as can be. She goes, that was fun. And I'm like, where is the nearest bridge? Because I am driving off it. Like, with us together, we go Thelma and Louise style. That's it. I shook all the way home.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was fun.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And everybody is staring at you. And I'm sure everybody had that, like, they were like, so, like, oh, I've been there. But it was hard. It's so hard because you're like, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I do this? I can't do this. I can't be a parent. I'm a terrible parent. Because I say things that just come out of my mouth, like, knock it off. Like, I just, like, get really close to her and just try to, like, instill the fear of God in her. Do you know what I mean? But it's not working anymore the older she gets.
Yeah, I know. I have a tendency to start laughing, and Marco's always like, you cannot do that, Brittany. He's like, you're laughing at her
when you're
feelings.
trying to discipline?
No, like she'll freak out in like an insane way, and it makes me like burst out laughing.
It kind of makes me laugh too.
Because
I think that's
I'm like,
nervous energy.
But it's also so insane what she's doing.
Yeah,
and it's
that
like
too.
kind of funny if you're looking at it. Also because I think that she's with it enough to know that like
Right.
So when it happens, but I also have found myself laughing at the baby.
Like when he's crying?
When he's like mad or frustrated, it makes me laugh. And I'm like, am I laughing at him because he's a boy and he's having feelings? I was like, oh my God. I was like, is this like just ingrained in our DNA to like make fun of boys for having feelings? Because I did not do that to Penelope. He's like, I can't carry the vacuum by myself. Oh, and I just like burst out laughing.
No, I think it's adorable. That is adorable.
I hope
You'll
so.
let him have feelings.
But then I'm like, I get it. You're like, one day you'll be able to do that. Like, what am I even talking
what's
about?
so confusing is that we now live in the parenting generation of you have to validate every single feeling. You have to. I love the make space for their feelings. Everyone's like, you have to make space for their feelings. I'm like, what are you talking? The whole house is her feelings. The whole house belongs to her. Like she could have her feelings everywhere in the house. I'm crying in my car, in my driveway. That's where my feelings are.
Oh
like
my
she's
God, I know.
all about like the feelings. But what's interesting is that every time she like has a like mini meltdown that is like a ridiculous meltdown, the first thing usually out of my mouth is, you're fine. And then you're like, no, and then I have to go back in there. But I mean, it's okay to be upset, but also knock it off. Like, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like, stop it. You're being over dramatic.
Yeah.
Because those are the things that that's how I was raised. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to validate every single feeling of hers because
know.
I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, stop it. If she can't choose between a Band-Aid and I've opened the Band-Aid before she opened it, she's like so upset. I'm like, knock it off. Like, that's enough.
I just leave now. I just leave. I'm
Like the house? The family?
Well, yesterday she was losing it, and I just was like, all right, I'm going on a walk with Benjamin. Bye. And I mean, Marco was there, but I was like, we're not all four going to be in your feeling bullshit right now. Like, if you two want to do that together, fine. I'm not going to be a part of this. Like,
Right.
I try and be like, hey, I'm here for you. I feel for you. But, like, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. So, like, just
I'm leaving.
let me know when. But I'm leaving. I think my MO is just to leave
I'm here.
or laugh.
Yes, I'm
leave
here.
or laugh.
Laugh or leave.
I don't really do anything else. I can't. Laugh or leave.
What is the one piece of parenting advice you would give somebody that's about to have their first child that you wish somebody had told you?
That you're the only one that, like, you don't need to listen to anybody else.
That is like a big one.
I feel like every kid's different.
Every
and,
kid
like,
is different.
You're different, and, like, it just do your own thing. Like, just trust yourself and do your own thing.
I mean, I do watch other people parent, and I think I should use that line. But yes, that is like a huge thing.
Because I think a lot of times I see people trying to do this new perfect parenting thing, like overly trying to do it. And I'm just like, even this like sleep training thing and this thing and this thing, I'm like, just like kind of like, it's going to work itself out. Just, you kind of know what you need to do. So just
Yes.
You don't need to like follow it.
Yeah,
All the things, all the stuff. Like
I remember you telling me about Penelope's like bedtime routine. Like, and all of everything. And I felt actually like guilty because Mackenzie's always been a great sleeper, but even now, she's like, I can't sleep. I'm like, when I'm trying to put her to bed, she's like, I'm not tired, whatever. I'm like, well, I'm leaving the room. Like, you're going to get this amount of it's never on her schedule. It's my schedule. Like, I will sing to you. I'll read one book. I'll sing to you, but I'm leaving. Then I'm leaving. So that's it.
Yeah.
Because I need that time. She's cutting into like my time, which is like an hour before I have to go to bed. So I'm like, I got to go. And now she's just used to that. You know what I mean? And maybe that's like the wrong
that's
thing,
what that's what I think you should do. I mean, Penelope does that. She just conned some people into like adding a couple books and a couple stories, and like she added one with like every babysitter, and like then she's like, I just want my dad to put me to bed, because she knows her dad will be like, okay. But she has the same thing every night. It's just like a million things.
Right.
She has like 2 books, 2 made up stories, and a song, and then you have to sit for 2 minutes. And
I'm like,
but then we leave, and she's normally awake still.
Right, yeah.
And so, but it's like, why do we have, Benjamin doesn't even like books. He just like throws them across the room, and I'm like, perfect. Nobody's reading to you. See ya.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way Mackenzie is not like a big story person. She just wants the songs, but sometimes I'm just out. I'm like, we're done. And she's like, no, stay. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And she just knows. And sitters never have to do anything. They're like, she's so easy to put to bed. I'm like, great. So basically, do your own thing, people. Every kid is different for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Every kid is different.
All right, where can people find you?
On Instagram, I am Brittany Ross, or on any social media platform.
We'll have everything listed, and we'll tag you. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This is so fun.
So much fun. Next time we'll have our kids, and it'll be so much fun. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. And new episodes come out every Monday. We'll see you next time. I'm Jodi Miller, and don't call me ma'am.
Don't do it.
Thanks for tuning in to Don't Call Me Ma'am. Don't forget to subscribe and like so you never miss an episode. See you next time.